The new hurricane threat, a state of emergency already declared in Florida tonight. Hurricane Irma now just upgraded to a Category 4. Several states could be hit, 130-mile-per-hour winds already. Ginger Z standing by with a new track just in. Also developing tonight, North Korea's most powerful nuclear test yet. More powerful than either bomb dropped by the U.S. in World War II. And this evening, the U.S. ambassador to the UN saying North Korea is, quote, begging for war. Hurricane Harvey, the newest evacuations, water released from reservoirs, leaving homes underwater. What now for the 85% of residents with no flood insurance? The images coming in at this hour, a car into a crowded Labor Day party, several injured, among them reportedly a pregnant woman. And the nurse arrested for refusing a police officer's order inside the hospital. The outrage, and now tonight the nurse is speaking out right here.
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on this Labor Day Monday. And we begin tonight with all eyes now on this new hurricane. The new storm track just in, and late today, Hurricane Irma was upgraded to a Category 4 hurricane. Florida is already preparing tonight, very likely in the path, and several other states getting ready too. Hurricane Irma, as you can see now, sweeping toward the Caribbean, winds up to 130 miles per hour and expected to strengthen even more. A state of emergency just declared in Florida. The new models just in showing several tracks that could make U.S. landfall, anywhere there from the Florida Panhandle up to the Carolinas. Tonight already, residents in Florida stocking up on water, on food, fuel, store shelves empty there, having, of course, just witnessed the destruction caused by Hurricane Harvey in Texas. The first hurricane watches and warnings are already in effect tonight. Chief Meteorologist Ginger Z has been tracking this all afternoon with us here in the newsroom. Ginger, where's Irma right now?
Less than 500 miles east of the Leeward Islands, David. I take you to the maps and you can see that thing, the eye so distinct. This thing looks scary. Now, we've got a little time before it even hits those Leeward Islands, but boy, they are in the heart of it in the next 2 days. Hurricane warnings, a hurricane watch for the U.S. Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico, and then it just keeps moving west. And this is the track and the cone that everyone is focused in on tonight as it moves north of Haiti and Dominican and north of Cuba. I want to take you wider and show you that now South Florida has made its way into that cone. So Florida, I believe, is going to have impact in some way by this weekend. You can see the timing there as it's north of Cuba. That's Saturday afternoon. So what's going to drive it? This is the big question. Last time we were talking about Harvey being stuck between two high-pressure systems. This time we've got a driving high that's keeping it south. That cold front, its depth and timing could take it just on the western side of Florida, or most models trying to take it on the east side. Both would be not great for Florida, and the slower that thing goes, the more we're going to be talking about inland flooding and the potential for more states like Georgia and South Carolina. And that's why these spaghetti plots are going to start to come together and form one definitive answer as we get closer, David.
But one thing appears clear from this map right now and all of these convergent models showing us that Florida does appear to be taking a hit here.
Yes.
All right, Ginger, we'll be tracking it through the week with you. I hate to even say it, but please take this very seriously at home. We're facing another hurricane. We know you'll be watching every development, Ginger. In addition to Florida's governor declaring a state of emergency, it was already in place in Puerto Rico. Amid the question, will response teams already spread thin be ready for yet another monster storm? ABC's Lindsay Janis is in the region tonight.
Tonight, shelves across Florida empty as Irma takes aim at the U.S.
If you wait until the last minute, there's nothing to be found, and it's like total chaos.
After Harvey, even hurricane veterans are preparing for the worst.
Our hearts are in Houston right now, but our reality is here in Key West.
Florida Governor Rick Scott declaring a state of emergency and urging residents to get their disaster plan ready. A state of emergency already declared in Puerto Rico. Plywood and batteries flying off shelves before the storm hits here Wednesday.
The National Guard has been activated, schools have been closed, and workers across this island have been ordered to cut their days short tomorrow so they can get ready.
American Airlines adding flights to get tourists out of Irma's path, and cruise ships rerouting to dodge the storm. Tonight, FEMA at the ready, 400 people on standby. Giant containers stuffed with supplies delivered to the U.S. Virgin Islands, where Irma could hit as early as tomorrow night. 60 people, including 20 children, already evacuated by the National Guard. And now the 100,000 people who live there stuck.
If you're here at this point.
Greg and Ashley Bauzianis and their two sons are from Kansas, but now live in St. Croix.
Really, the worst possible thing that can happen is the roof gets ripped off. and that you just need to be prepared for flying debris, everything in your house to be completely soaked.
Their only choice? Batten down the hatches, stock up on supplies, and hope for the best.
And Lindsay Janis joins us now from Puerto Rico tonight, where there is already a state of emergency. And Lindsay, I know there is real concern now that relief and rescue workers have already been stretched thin with Harvey, and they now must be mobilized for Irma.
David, tonight the Red Cross says it is no longer sending any volunteers to Texas from states that could be in Irma's path. As for FEMA, it says it is already in position. David?
Lindsay Janis from Puerto Rico tonight. Lindsay, our thanks to you. We'll have much more on Good Morning America. In the meantime, the other major headline tonight, Kim Jong-un with his most powerful nuclear test yet in North Korea. U.S. intelligence officials now say they are confident in North Korea's claim that they detonated a hydrogen bomb more devastating than the atomic bombs dropped during World War II. The concern now that it could be one day mounted onto an intercontinental ballistic missile. Tonight, the U.S. ambassador to the UN now saying North Korea is, quote, begging for war. ABC's chief foreign correspondent Terry Moran is in Seoul, South Korea tonight.
Today in South Korea, a show of force. F-15 fighter jets practicing bomb drops. Missiles launched, live fire maneuvers simulating an attack. This country's swift and angry response to North Korea's startling nuclear test, its sixth and most alarming blast yet.
완전 성공!
North Korean state TV celebrated the, quote, perfect success, and there were cheers on the streets of Pyongyang. The explosion was so powerful it triggered a major earthquake, magnitude 6.3, with tremors felt across the region. And tonight, a U.S. intelligence official tells ABC News that the North Korean claim that it tested a hydrogen bomb, vastly more powerful than the atomic weapons dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, appears to be accurate. And the South Korean government today says it's detected signs that North Korea is preparing for another ballistic missile launch, this one aimed at the Pacific. The UN Security Council meeting in an emergency session this morning. U.S. Ambassador Nikki Haley calling for the strongest possible sanctions and issuing this stunning warning to the North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un.
His abusive use of missiles and his nuclear threats show that he is begging for war.
President Trump, just hours after the nuclear test, kept open the option of a military strike.
Mr. President, will you attack North Korea?
But Kim Jong-un's going all out now to develop his weapons. Since February, a series of 13 missile launches, including some capable of striking the U.S. homeland, triggering this threat from the president in August.
They will be met with fire, fury, and frankly power, the likes of which this world has never seen before.
The president also taking to Twitter, declaring he's considering launching an economic attack, stopping all trade with any country doing business with North Korea.
And Terry Moran joins us from Seoul now. And Terry, we heard you report President Trump has threatened to stop all trade with countries who trade with North Korea. That would obviously include China. And they're responding tonight?
They are, David. The Chinese Foreign Ministry firing back, calling that threat unacceptable and unfair. And analysts are pointing to the more than $500 billion worth of trade per year between China and the U.S., calling it a hollow threat. But President Trump is pointing to the fact that China's trade with North Korea is increasing. David?
Terry, thank you. And you heard Terry point out there, the South Korean government says it has already detected signs that North Korea is now preparing for another ballistic missile launch aimed at the Pacific. I want to bring in retired Colonel Stephen Ganyard tonight. Steve, obviously the U.S. believes their hope is to connect a miniaturized bomb to one of those missiles one day. First, let's talk about the strength of the bomb just tested by North Korea. How strong is it?
David, they've stepped up from a basic atomic weapon to a complex thermonuclear device. Intelligence analysts believe that it's between 5 and 8 times stronger than the bomb that the U.S. dropped on Hiroshima at the end of World War II.
And Steve, you've told us before how far one of those intercontinental ballistic missiles could feasibly go, the most recent going higher and further than ever before. What most concerns you now about the test of this nuclear bomb?
David, it's the consistent progress they've made in both their missile program and their nuclear weapons. Theoretically, he now has the ability to hit most of the United States with a thermonuclear weapon. But more concerning is how, no matter what the U.S. seems to do, he doesn't slow down. In short, Kim is winning and the rest of the world is losing.
All right, Colonel Ganyard with us again tonight on North Korea. Steve, thank you. The other headline from the White House tonight, a decision is now expected tomorrow from President Trump on a major immigration policy that now protects roughly 800,000 Dreamers, undocumented immigrants who were children when they were brought to the U.S. Here's ABC's chief White House correspondent, Jonathan Karl.
From Chicago to Miami, protesters out in support of the hundreds of thousands of young immigrants who may soon be stripped of their legal status.
What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now!
With a decision coming tomorrow, White House officials tell ABC News the president is leaning towards phasing out DACA, the program put in place by President Obama to give legal status for the Dreamers, undocumented immigrants who came to the U.S. as young children. There are nearly 800,000 of them, many in Houston, including 15-year-old Yasmin Medrano, who talked to ABC News as her family returned to their flooded home.
My biggest fear is for us to get deported. For my family, all the hard work that they have done to just be thrown away and then go back to how we were.
As a candidate, Donald Trump vowed to end the program immediately.
I will immediately terminate President Obama's illegal executive order on immigration. Immediately.
But in his first interview in the White House, President Trump told David the Dreamers would be taken care of.
Should they be worried that they could be deported? And is there anything you can say to assure them right now that they'll be allowed to stay?
They shouldn't be very worried. They are here illegally. They shouldn't be very worried. I do have a big heart. We're going to take care of everybody.
So, Mr. President, will they be allowed to stay?
I'm going to tell you over the next 4 weeks.
About 7 months later, still no plan for the Dreamers.
Should Dreamers be worried?
We love the Dreamers. We love everybody. Thank you very much.
Back in Houston, where 15-year-old Yasmin Medrano and so many others await their fate, we asked Vice President Pence about the Dreamers as he toured the disaster zone.
There are more than 120,000 Dreamers here in the state of Texas who would lose their legal status as a result of that.
Well,
is this really the time to do that?
Well, President Trump has said all along that he's giving very careful consideration to that issue, and that when he makes his decision, he'll make it, as he likes to say, with big heart. And I know that he will.
John Carl there with the Vice President, and now with us live from the White House. And John, it's believed the President will phase out this protection for the Dreamers, giving Congress a short time frame to come up with legislation to fix it. But then how likely is that to happen?
Well, David, there is bipartisan support in Congress for protecting the Dreamers. Paul Ryan has come out and said that he supports the program, but there is absolutely no guarantee that Congress will act. There is strong opposition from many conservatives, and Congress has brought this up before and failed to pass any protection for the Dreamers.
All right, John Carl with us live from the White House on this Labor Day Monday. John, thank you. We turn next to the Texas Gulf Coast tonight. Officials late today confirming at least 60 deaths now attributed to Harvey, as many residents now face yet a new crisis. There are new evacuations in Houston as water is released from reservoirs, leaving some homes underwater. And tonight, a staggering number here. What now for the 85% of homeowners with no flood insurance? ABC's Victor Akendo from Houston again tonight.
In West Houston today, the Army Corps of Engineers starting to ease the flow of water from those swollen reservoirs. But it's too late for thousands of homes in its path, many now underwater.
This area could potentially be like this for another 4, 5, 6 weeks.
More than a month,
possibly. Yes, absolutely, more than a month.
85% of residents in Houston don't have flood insurance. Homeowners like Bill and Nana Cotton, who were flooded by that reservoir.
There's thousands of people that don't have flood insurance, and we're told you didn't need any because you're not in a floodplain.
They had just hours to evacuate. Firefighters carrying Nana's 97-year-old mother to safety.
Harvey didn't flood your house?
No, not at all.
No, it was a reservoir.
The city made a calculated decision that they were going to sacrifice a number of houses for the greater good of the rest of Houston.
FEMA now paying for this hotel room, but the Cottons are hoping the city will help pay for them to rebuild. Where the water has receded, they're salvaging what they can and starting over, but it's a long road ahead.
We appreciate the prayers, we really do, but what we need is assistance so people can get the necessities just to live.
And Victor Akendo joined us now from Houston. So many still suffering, really for weeks and months to come on this. And I wanted to get an update tonight on the town of Beaumont. Without drinking water?
David, it's a city of 120,000 people, and their water pumps are flooded. All weekend long, they've had to bring in bottled water by air and by truck. They've also brought in temporary pumps, but that water is not safe to drink, and there's no telling when those permanent pumps will be back up and running. David?
All right, Victor Akendo and the team in Houston for us. Victor, thank you. Meantime, we are following developments from the west tonight.